Oh, yeah. Is it Tuesday already? Andor Season 2 has gotten two new trailers since we last met on Saturday. Yeah, that's right. We are pretty much getting an Andor teaser trailer every single day now as we are leading up to Andor Season 2. And guess what? That second season and final season of Andor is in 2 weeks from today. But we actually have more news to talk about, not just Andor Season 2, as the next Star Wars movie after the Mandalorian and Grogu movie just got its cast extended by two major names in Hollywood. So without further ado, let's dive into all of it. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing on this fine Tuesday afternoon? So yes, we've gotten to the point in our Star Wars marketing for Andor Season 2 that we are getting pretty much a trailer a day. Yes, today marks the 2 weeks until Andor Season 2, so we were expecting some sort of teaser trailer today, and we got it. But there was one yesterday. Actually, scratch that. It was earlier this morning. Hang on. Was it yesterday or earlier this morning? Either way, we've gotten two Andor Season 2 trailers over the last 24 hours. Yeah. And the latest one has revealed quite a bit about what the actual plot of Season 2 is going to be. Not only is the Ghorman Massacre going to be in Season 2, where we're going to see the Empire massacre, if you will, thousands of innocent lives on Ghorman, but that specific event is going to be the most important thing and catalyst for the entire second season of Andor Season 2, not only giving us the introduction of Cassian and K2SO, but also what's happening with Cyril, Dedra, and Krennic. And it will also be the catalyst for what happens with Mon Mothma and possibly even Palpatine. So yes, we got a lot to get into and not a lot of time. So without further ado, let's say hi to everybody in the chat, shall we? Okay. I'm feeling good today, chat. I'm feeling extra good today. We had an incredible members-only live stream on Sunday where we watched one of the greatest episodes of Star Wars television ever, and that was Andor Season 1, Episode 10, One Way Out. I kind of forgot how great that episode was. I forgot that there was not only Kino Loy's monologue, which was the One Way Out one, but also Luthen's monologue, which, in my personal opinion, is the better one. But with that being said, if you have not watched or rewatched Andor Season 1 lately, you might want to do it as we only have 2 weeks until this show starts. But let's say hi to everybody in the chat. Holly, what's up? Carry on, how we doing? KG in the house. Howlrunner Base, what is up? Robert, how we doing? Rose, what is up? Matthew, how we doing? Brandon Baker in the house. WUV Grad, how we doing? Starship 66, what is up? Austin Snow, how we doing? 50 Thunder, what is up? Star Wars Order, how we doing? Skywalker Academy in the house. Adam, what is up? Darth Plagueis lives, how we doing? Haja, what is up? Navarro in the house. Star Wars Santa is present today. Trent, what is up? All right, if I missed you, you know the deal. Just yell at me in the chat. Let's give everybody a nice little
Hello there.
General Kenobi.
Okay, Cole, what's up? B-Man, how we doing? All right, I guess let's just start with watching these two trailers. One was only a 30-second spot that was only released on Instagram and Twitter and probably TikTok as well. But the other one is an actual trailer that was released onto YouTube. So first we're going to watch the, I guess, smaller trailer, and then we'll watch the bigger one. So let's go to X, the X, formerly known as Twitter. And let's take a look at this. Wait, what? Oh, here it is. Let's take a look at this. Whoops. It would help if you guys could see it, wouldn't that be helpful? Wouldn't that be helpful? There we go. So it starts off with Krennic in the Death Star. Oh, you guys can't hear it either. What's going on today, chat? Fixed it.
We need to silence any resistance.
If we do not stand together, we will be crushed.
Together,
We can win. Welcome to the rebellion.
So if it wasn't enough that they gave us all these 30-second TV spots, or whatever you want to call them, teaser trailers, let's call them for now. These 30-second teaser trailers, pretty much every day until the premiere of this show, they also jam-pack it so much that they don't just use one scene.
Resistance.
If we do not
They use 3 at the same time. They're like, no, this scene of Mon Mothma wasn't enough. We're going to also give you stormtroopers on this weird farming planet with Bix and Brazos shooting people and killing people.
stand together,
Yeah, we'll give you all this different stuff at the same time.
we will be crushed.
Together.
We can win.
Welcome to the rebellion.
So there are a few new scenes in this trailer that we haven't seen yet from all the other trailers that we got. This one obviously not being one of them. But the Death Star, like I mentioned before, it can't be seen by Cassian and others. But yeah, this one was from today. Was this one today or yesterday? Hang on, let me check. This one was April 7th. So yesterday. This one was from yesterday, and then the one we're watching after this is from today. So we're getting a trailer a day at this point.
We need to silence any resistance.
We need to silence any resistance. I don't know who he's talking to here. Looks like he's looking around a room, so maybe a bunch of people.
Any resistance.
If we do not stand together,
This bottom one here is a new frame from the Ghorman Massacre. It pretty much just looks like a different shot of the top one. But interestingly enough, there's a bunch of smoke and sort of smoke behind them, steam, if you will. And it seems to me that they might be coming out of a ship. And well, one of the very few things that we know in canon about the Ghorman Massacre is that Tarkin, his Star Destroyer, lands on the innocent pedestrians. Lands on top of them. I don't know if they're going to show that because that's really dark for even Andor's sake, but it's possible that they just landed outside this courtyard and then they're walking out of the ship. So it's possible that they are technically landing on the pedestrians, which would be absolutely insane. But
we
get another look, a new look here at the Empire coming to capture Bix and Brazos or kill Bix and Brazos. I don't know. But the Empire is clearly in control on this planet that Bix and Brazos and B2 go to hide out on, I guess. Yeah. And then we get K2SO, or at least his version of a K2 droid. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 at least of them. And they are going to silence the crowd, I guess, on Ghorman.
will be crushed.
They will be crushed. Keep these guys right down here in the back of your head, okay? Keep these guys, these Imperial guys, not the stormtroopers, but the guys in sort of wearing all black. These guys are important, okay? Just keep them in mind. I think the Ghorman Massacre here is going to go, well, one of two ways. It's going to go the same way. It's just we're going to get to see the outcome from both sides, the Imperial side and the Rebellion side, and how it affects both of them. The same way we got in season 1, all these different events, Aldhani and Ferrix, how that affected not only the Rebellion, but also the Empire from the perspective of Dedra and Cyril. But now in season 2, also the perspective of Krennic, which is going to be pretty wild. So keep these guys in mind because we're going to see them again. Who's the Cape guy? I don't know what his name is yet, but he will be important.
Together.
We can win.
Now we got Cassian breaking out in this TIE fighter, as per usual. But on the top one here, we have stormtroopers, actually top and bottom. There's two different scenes of stormtroopers walking through this hallway on Coruscant. And I actually think this is the stormtroopers going to arrest Mon Mothma. And we've seen this in an image from before. Let me see if I can go find that really quickly. But this image of Mon Mothma and Luthen on Coruscant, where we see stormtroopers behind them. Let's see if I can find this really quickly. This is one of the craziest. Nope, that's not it. This is one of the craziest images that we've gotten to date for this Andor series. And there's still really no explanation to it, or at least none that I see. So let's take a look at this. Where the hell is this? So much comes out from this second season of Andor that it's almost impossible to find this stuff. Oh, here we go. Found it. So we get all these different images for Andor Season 2, and one of the craziest ones is right here. So it looks to me that these stormtroopers are either arresting Mon Mothma or escorting her out, or I don't know. Maybe she's being banished from Coruscant. But this is on Coruscant. This is Mon Mothma and Luthen standing right in front of stormtroopers, which is, first of all, insane. But when you put it together with the new trailer that we just received, this one right here, and you see these stormtroopers, again, 6 stormtroopers, if I press play here. 6 stormtroopers all running off to go do something on Coruscant. It seems to me that these stormtroopers are going to go arrest Mon Mothma. Now, we know for a fact that that doesn't happen. We know Mon Mothma escapes Coruscant with the help of actually the Rebels, the Ghost crew from Star Wars Rebels, Harrison Dula, Ezra Bridger, etc. They rescue her in Star Wars Rebels and bring her to Yavin 4. And we do see Yavin 4 in the second trailer that we're going to be watching today. But that we know for a fact already happens. We know Mon Mothma survives. We know she doesn't get put into a Imperial prison, at least not now. So she will escape. However, it's very strange that these stormtroopers are running off to go capture her on Coruscant. And then we see this image here where she's being arrested, or looks to be getting arrested, with Luthen standing right next to her. And Luthen's not in his wig. He's not in his whole disguise that he wears in Season 1, that he will also be wearing in Season 2. But he's not wearing it here. So this almost seems like, at this point, the Empire either already knows who Luthen is, or they're right on his tails, and he's not even hiding it anymore. Like, he's already come out, and he's pretty much accepted death at this point. He's not hiding anymore. He's not wearing that wig. He's not putting up this whole fake character anymore. It's a very, very important screenshot that we've had for now months. It's crazy. Yeah. It's a trap. Must be. Luthen must have some people, have more people, than just Lonnie in the Empire. I don't know. You think one of these stormtroopers is working for Luthen? I seriously doubt it. No. You think one of these stormtroopers is going to help them out? I don't think so. I don't think so. I want to see Luthen's ship again. I think you will see Luthen's ship again, because I think he's going to go down with the ship. That's how I do think he will die at some point. Yeah. But going back to this trailer, it does look like these 6 stormtroopers are going off to run and arrest Mon Mothma.
Welcome to the rebellion.
And this is Coruscant. The same hallway that those stormtroopers were just running down. You see right there on the side. It's hard to see, but right there on the left.
Welcome
He's in that same hallway.
to the rebellion.
So Cassian's on Coruscant. What he's doing there, I have no idea. But at some point, maybe he helps Mon Mothma escape. I don't know. I don't know. But he is on Coruscant, and whatever he's doing there is clearly going to be important. Yeah, absolutely. Indeed. So that's the first trailer. A few new scenes there from those stormtroopers running, and this
Together.
new look at the stormtroopers coming in on the Ghorman Massacre. But the second trailer that we got today, literally just, I don't know, an hour ago maybe, is far more crazy and gives us a lot more information about the season to come. And it's not just a 25-second short, it's a 32-second short. No, but it's also officially posted on YouTube. Those other trailers are not. Or maybe they're posted as shorts, but they're not official videos. Now, I want to show you something pretty cool before we get to this. And that is the marketing that has happened for Season 2 so far. When you look at these trailers that are already released onto YouTube, you see 6.9 million views, nice, for the first official teaser trailer that came out just over a month ago. Then you have this special look one, which was, I think, better than even the teaser trailer, and it has 500,000 views. Then you come over here to a recap for season 1. It's got 500,000 views. Then the official final trailer, or whatever you want to call it, has 3.1 million views. That was posted 2 weeks ago. Obviously, Tales of the Underworld we talked about last week, but 1.3 million. And then this was posted about an hour ago. And it's got 14,000 views. Again, this is only 30 seconds long, so let's take a look at it. Let's take a look.
The Empire cannot win.
The revolution's coming alive.
This day has finally come. This is do or die.
I'm thinking like a soldier. Think like a leader.
Andor Season 2.
So this trailer is pretty much, 50-50, I would guess, but new scenes versus old scenes. This first one being a new one. As you can see, Cassian, or at least we're led to believe Cassian, in this TIE Avenger, flying in to come save the day. At least that's what we're led to believe here. Bix and Brazos being, I don't know, almost killed by the Empire, or maybe even imprisoned by the Empire. I'm not too sure. But either way, Cassian is going to come save the day in this TIE Avenger. And that's what we see here. Bix, what's this kid's name? Somebody help me on the chat. I forget this kid's name. I know his dad was the one who got, his dad's name was Pac, I think, something like that. He got tortured by the Empire in season 1. Well, Bix and Pac's son.
Empire.
All right. Remember those guys I told you to remember? The guys in all black? This is them. And the reason we know that is, first of all, this is the guy with the cape over here on the left. But the reason we know this is because this is Ghorman. You can see by the structure up top here. Look at these pillars coming off the top with the golden accent sort of right there. If we go forward a little bit here, that's the same pillars. So you get the same pillars here with the golden accents. They are on Ghorman. So these are the Imperial guards seemingly either leaving or entering. I think they're leaving the Ghorman Massacre. And this is sort of the other side of it, because the Ghorman Massacre is going to be probably the biggest, most important piece of the plot in season 2 because of how it affects the rebellion and how it forces the Imperial's hands. But we talked about this or speculated about this a little bit last stream, and that was the fact that Cassian is, first of all, present at the Ghorman Massacre, but also it could be him that starts the whole thing. Luthen talks about so much in season 1 how they have to force the Empire's hand, how they have to make sacrifices so that the Empire outs themselves as these crazy people who will murder innocent lives. So when Aldhani happens and they steal 80 million credits from the Empire, they're really just trying to get the Empire to counter. They're trying to get the Empire to overreact and force their hand to do something stupid. And that's the same thing that sort of happens with the Ghorman Massacre, is the rebellion has to force the Empire's hand to do something stupid. And I think that Cassian might be the catalyst, let's say, for the Ghorman Massacre. He's there with a blaster. He might shoot a random pedestrian, or maybe even shoot an Imperial, maybe one of these guys, or a actual stormtrooper, and start the fight. Cassian might be the catalyst to start the Ghorman Massacre, which sounds crazy, but when you really listen to what Luthen is saying, it's a revolution at all costs. Luthen Rael and Saw Gerrera are both madmen. They're both madmen, and they need to be madmen because the Empire clearly outmatches them 1,000,000 to 1, and they need to be crazy to even try to fight back. But the craziness of Luthen and Saw Gerrera is that what actually allows them to survive and allows the rebellion to grow into what it becomes by the time of the original trilogy and actually succeed against the Empire. Luthen and Saw Gerrera walked so that Luke Skywalker and Leia Organa could run. They are the seeds. What does Poe Dameron say in the sequel trilogy? They are the spark that'll light the fire, that'll flame the thrower, that'll burn the whole thing down. I don't know. But you get the gist. Luthen and Saw Gerrera are pretty much, and Mon Mothma, of course, and Bail Organa. But in terms of characters that will die in season 2, Saw doesn't die in season 2, but he will die in Rogue One. Luthen is going to be the catalyst for what's to come later on. But again, he's making a sunrise that he will never see. So what has he given to the rebellion? Everything. Yeah. So that's what we're seeing here. I think Cassian Andor might actually shoot the first shot in the Ghorman Massacre, which leads to the deaths of thousands of innocent people. Yeah, thousands. It'd be pretty wild. It would be wild. The Max Rebo experience. What's up, Max Rebo? Says Luthen said the Empire was moving slowly and people didn't notice it. But Nemec said that the Empire was persecuting, maybe, 40 atrocities at a time. It's true. The Empire is evil, and people like the Rebellion notice that. But you have to remember that there are billions, maybe even trillions of people across the galaxy that see the Empire as protection, see them as the good guys, because they really just went from the Republic to the Empire. And during the time of the Republic, they were in this 4 year long war called the Clone Wars, where innocent people were dying all over the place, to the Separatists, to the Republic, to Jedi, whatever it was. And then the Empire comes in, ends the war, gets rid of the evil Jedi, gets rid of the Separatists, gets rid of the droid army, and now they protect the planets. So to a lot of people around the world, or around the, universe, the Empire, they're the good guys. They're the people who ended the war. They're the people who saved everybody. They're the people who protect the planets. They're the good guys. It's only to us, the audience, that we know that they're the bad guys. Does that make sense? So a lot of people around the galaxy see the Empire still as the good guys. And Luthen and the rest of the Empire's objective is to out the Empire for what they truly are, the villains. Because most people in the galaxy don't see that. So when they murder thousands of innocent lives on Ghorman, well, that'll spread quickly. The news of that will spread very, very quickly. And it won't take long until the rest of the galaxy goes, what? Are we the next innocent lives to be slaughtered by the Empire because we didn't listen to what they said? That's how you start a rebellion. Yeah. But we are going to get the Empire's side of this. So whatever happens on Ghorman, we will get both sides, not just Cassian's perspective and maybe even Melshi's perspective, but the Empire's as well. From Cyril's point of view, because we know he'll be there, and he's in this trailer actually quite a bit. We'll get to that in a second. From Cyril's point of view, but also just the Imperials that are involved. Look at these guys. They're scared shitless. Look at his face. He's like, oh my God, I just pooped my pants. Yeah. No more chat delay. Yeah, that was my bad. Last stream, I forgot to turn off the chat delay, and I can't do it once the stream has already started, so the chat was delayed by I don't even know. It was really annoying. Oh yeah, we fixed it. That was a one-time thing. Okay, but let's keep going. Remember these guys.
Cannot win.
The revolution's coming alive.
We got a pretty great look at Saw Gerrera right here. As he says, the revolution's coming alive.
The revolution's coming alive.
Come on. Him in two tubes right here. So Saw is eventually going to end up on Jeddah. Sorry. He's going to eventually end up on Jeddah. And actually in the last trailer before this, we see him on Jeddah. But as we know, this show will take place over the course of 12 episodes, every 3 episodes being a new year in the Star Wars timeline, and will lead directly into Rogue One. So by the end of this series, he'll be on Jakku, Cassian will be on Yavin 4, all the Rebellion will be on Yavin 4, and it will lead us directly into what we see in Rogue One. But right now, he's not there. You can tell by the difference of his appearance, his sort of armor, I guess, looks a little bit different. And when we see him on Jakku, it looks exactly the same as when Jeddah, They're both deserts. They're both very sandy. They both have Jedi temple. Actually, Jakku doesn't have a Jedi temple. Whatever. Okay, there's both Star Destroyers on it. No. Jakku is from the sequels, and Jedha is from Rogue One. When we see him on Jedha, he looks different than this.
It's coming alive.
I really don't know what's going on here. Like Saw is going to war? I don't know. Now, the big theory is in the first trailer we got, there's a dead body. There's a dead body right in the middle of the screen. Let me actually pull that up really quickly. Let me pull it up. And some fans think that this dead body could be Luthen. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of this theory. Because if it's Luthen, well, that changes everything. Hang on. Is it in this one? Yeah, here it is.
What a swell party this is.
So this is the same scene where they're taking off from Saw's planet. Yeah, it doesn't look like Luthen to me at all. However, why is there a dead body here? Like, who is this? Who is this, and why does it lead to Saw and the rest of his men leaving the planet? Like, where are they going? Has their base been compromised and they have to go to Jedha, or what's going on here? Come on, we need the mind-reading octopus. Hey, you might get him again. Yeah, everybody loves him. I wonder if that's Dantooine, where the ships are leaving. Do we ever see Dantooine in Star Wars? Like, actually see it? Obviously, there's a lot of mentions of Dantooine, but this is Kino Loy. Oh, that'd be devastating if this was Kino. Well, Kino Loy is supposed to come back in season 2. Andy Serkis himself has said that. But the question becomes, well, what is his, what is his role in season 2? The dead body could be a spy or somebody undercover. That's also possibly true. Saw Gerrera is crazy. So this guy might be just a normal dude, and he thinks that he's a spy, and then he kills him, and they have to leave and uproot their base and go find somewhere else. Could be. Could be Lonnie. I don't know how Lonnie would get there, He's in with the Empire. Borgullet. Yeah, we need some more Borgullet. So, with that being said, the dead body pretty much disappears in this new trailer. It's obviously off screen here, but they're not showing it for some reason. They teased it in the first trailer, but not showing it in this trailer. Whoever that dead body is has to have some sort of importance, I do think. Yeah. Dantooine is seen from orbit in Rebels. Really? Huh. The more you know. Okay, but Saw Gerrera is up and leaving. Probably going to Jakku. Not Jakku! Jedha, chat! Who keeps saying Jakku? You're an idiot. God. Jedha, where we see him in Rogue One. Okay, now we get some cereal. It's time for some cereal. You want a daily dose of cereal? Here it comes. So, cereal is on. This is the Ghorman Massacre yet again. Somebody walking by him has some sort of like sparkler thing or some sort of firework or something. It's not a blaster or a gun. This is a firework of some sort. I don't even know. But the big question is, will cereal eat cereal? I mean, that's the only thing we want to know. Will we be getting more blue milk? Will we be getting more cereal? That's really the only important piece of this guy's character. But in all seriousness, he is at the Ghorman Massacre. So the question becomes, will he survive it? Tell me in the chat. Will Cyril Khan survive the Ghorman Massacre? What do we think? They have sparklers in Star Wars now? I guess so. I guess so. His hair looks so suave. Okay, sure. So, the massacre, of course, is going to kill thousands of innocent people. I really don't think they'd kill off Cyril in this way, but I don't think he'll survive the events of season 2. You think he'll just get a boring desk job at the Death Star and then he'll blow up in A New Hope? That would suck. He just goes and gets a boring desk job. That would stink. He survives and grows old with Dedra. That's definitely not going to happen. Yeah. That is definitely not going to happen. But we do get a lot of Cyril in this trailer, so let's keep going. This, to me, looks like Cyril right there. But I don't know who this is. Could be Dedra. But this is the mysterious dark and rainy planet that we saw where Vel and Cinta are there. Vel and Cinta are on the dark and rainy planet. And this is the second time we're seeing it with Cyril and somebody else. Could be Dedra. I have no idea. What do we think this is? Vader, no spamming in the chat. You were warned. You were warned what spamming would get you. But who do we think this is, and what do we think this planet is? Because this is not the first time we've seen it. Vel and Cinta are doing some sort of side mission, side quest here on this planet. But we have no idea what it is. Vel and Cinta versus Cyril and Dedra. I got my money on Cyril and Dedra. But then we get some people swapping weapons up in here. This looks like Ghorman to me. Again, another reason as to why this looks like Ghorman could have been a staged thing by the Rebellion. At least these look like, not really rebels, but they look like Ghormans who are seemingly ready to fight back. They got blasters. They look like they might be making some explosives back there. This massacre looks to be on purpose to me. Yeah. Come on, that's not how you hand a blaster to somebody. What? What? This is not Cassian, by the way. A lot of people think that that's Cassian. It's not. I see zero familiar faces in this scene, but yeah. Here's Cassian going to get his nice TIE Avenger. Breaks back into the Empire. Krennic. Now, where is he is a very important question. If he's on Ghorman right now, I mean, then everybody's there. Everybody's there. Cyril's there. Cassian's there. Possibly Dedra's there. And now Krennic is also there. I really don't know what other planet he'd be looking out at. I mean, maybe Coruscant, but it doesn't look like Coruscant. Yeah. Does Luthen make a deal with the Empire? There's no way. Luthen's whole life has been fighting against the Empire. There's no way that they would do that. Yeah. A post-credit scene where Cyril gets transferred to the Death Star would be classic. It would be devastating, but it would be pretty funny. Yeah. Yeah. But we do get another great look at Krennic here. Who's going to have... I really don't know what his role is going to be in Season 2, but it's going to be a big one. That's for damn sure.
This day has finally come.
Okay. So, the big question becomes, is Palpatine going to be in this scene? That's the big question. So tell me in the chat, do you think that Palpatine will be in this scene? When Mon Mothma calls him out for being a monster, the monster will come for us all. Does he combat that? Does he come up from the middle and go, hey, guess what, lady? I'm the monster, and I'm coming for you right now. What do we think? Vader, you gotta chill, buddy. Brandon, just, give him a little timeout. Will Palpatine be in this scene? Will he be in this scene? Oh, we got a super chat. Hang on. Hang on, chat. Rose with a very generous $5 holla says, in this scene where Mon Mothma faces the Senate, Palpatine's podium is already risen out of the floor. Is that Palpatine standing there? A Palpatine impression, please. Well, first of all, thank you for the $5 holla. I appreciate that quite a bit. Oh, let me not forget, there was a war going on before the live stream of poop emojis. Quite funny. I appreciate it. Darth Plagueis lives and I Haja going back and forth with poop emojis for super stickers. So super stickers are also very appreciated here at the channel. But yes, Rose, do I think that Palpatine is there in that scene? I don't really know. It doesn't look like he is that person right there in the middle. But who else would that be? It could be Masamita, but Masamita is very blue, and this character looks like almost golden. I don't even know. He's like shining for some reason. So I don't know who this is, but it doesn't look like Palpatine to me. However, we could be getting more than one Senate scene, and this might not be the one where she calls him out, or maybe it is, and maybe he flies in from the ceiling like a Lady Gaga or something, and comes in. He's like, "You should not have said that. Unlimited power." And then just starts shocking everybody in the set. Imagine, you know how Palpatine like reaches up in the sky and Rise of Skywalker and zaps all the ships in the sky and they all start falling? What if he does that to everybody in the Senate building? Just zaps them all. Oh, Palpatine impression? Sure.
Execute Order 66.
Execute Order 66. I appreciate it. Okay, but is this Palpatine? Is Palpatine going to be in this scene? Well, let me broaden the question, I guess. Do you think that Palpatine will be in this season at all? Actually, I want to put this up in a poll in the chat. Let's do that. Let's do that. I appreciate the super chat, Rose. I really do. Super chats, memberships, keep the lights on over here. And if you haven't smashed a freaking like on the stream, I don't know what the hell you're waiting for. Get on it. Okay. Do you think Palpatine will be in Andor Season 2? Yes or no? We are 2 weeks away. Are we 2 weeks away from seeing Emperor Palpatine? What do we think? Emperor Racoonar, you've moved up in the ranks with a very generous $2 holla. I appreciate that. No message, but I appreciate it nonetheless. You forgot the text. I see that. I see that. Dead Mike says, no, he won't. They would have told us. There's no way they would have told us. If Palpatine, Vader, Tarkin, or anybody of that level, Leia, Bail Organa, they would never have told us. Lucasfilm is very good at a lot of things. One of the best things they're good at is keeping a secret. And if Palpatine, of all characters, is going to be in Season 2, they will keep that a secret. Because think about it. Palpatine is not in Andor Season 1. He's not in Rogue One either. Vader is, Tarkin is, but Palpatine's not. Now, they're almost running out of opportunities here to bring Ian back as Palpatine. And everybody loves bringing Ian back to play Palpatine. However, Kenobi, they did it with a hologram. Obviously, they did it in the sequel trilogy by bringing him back there. Maybe you can bring him back in the Mandoverse to explain how Palpatine returns a little bit. Maybe. But this Andor Season 2 seems to be one of the last chances for us to get more Palpatine, at least in live action. So you couple that with the fact that we're in the Senate, we're on Coruscant, Mon Mothma is specifically calling out Palpatine. I feel like Palpatine should show up. But that's just me. Tell me what you think in the chat. As in physically there, no, but maybe a voice of his? Okay. I mean, maybe even a hologram. Anything. Physically there would be fantastic because we haven't seen Palpatine physically there. When was the last time we saw Palpatine physically in a room? In live action? Was it Rise of Skywalker? And then before that, was it Revenge of the Sith? Huh. Because in Kenobi, he's a hologram. Has he shown up at any other place in live action? That's very interesting, actually. David Fieldstad with a very generous $2 holla. I appreciate that, David says. Palpatine voice or hologram, but not the live character himself. Okay. Interesting. To me, if he's going to show up at all, it should be actually him. Because it's not going to come off the same if he shows up just as a hologram. It's not going to be as scary as if he came up right through the middle of the Senate tower and just went, I'm going to beat all of you right now with my words. You know? Yeah. Darth Plagueis lives with a very generous $10 holla. Holy crap. You guys are feeling extra generous today. I appreciate it quite a bit. Says, a trailer a day keeps the haters away. Hey, okay. 2 weeks till Andor. Oh, yeah. Can't wait. What are the % chances that we see Vader or Palpatine? We're sort of talking about Palpatine right now, and 70% of you think that we will be seeing Palpatine in this second season. I think Palpatine is more likely than Vader. I do. And I do for a very weird reason. Vader is obviously in Rogue One. So you would sort of just say right then and there that it makes more sense that we see Vader in Andor Season 2. But to me, because of the Senate, because of Mon Mothma calling him out, because of the fact that we take place on Coruscant for many episodes in the second season, Palpatine is far more likely than Darth Vader. Because Darth Vader at this point in the galaxy is pretty much just hunting down Jedi. Not necessarily just Jedi, but we see him in Star Wars Rebels fighting against Kanan and Ezra, fighting against Ahsoka Tano, all that stuff. I feel like it's almost under Vader's pay grade to show up and fight Saw Gerrera or be at the Ghorman Massacre or anything like that. So for that reason, I think it's probably a higher % chance we see Palpatine than Vader. But tell me what you think in the chat. Yeah. And I appreciate the super chat, Darth Plagueis lives. I really, really do. Super chats, memberships, keep the lights on over here. Yeah. Vader has bigger fish to catch. Exactly. He's not really worried about these measly rebels. Well, that's the problem of the Empire, is they probably should be focused on these measly rebels. But, yeah, I think Vader is probably not going to be there. Isn't Vader focused on the Ghost Crew and Ahsoka at this point? Well, yes and no, because Andor Season 2 is going to span over 5 years, or 4 years, sorry. At some points, he will be focused on the Empire, on the Rebels crew, but not the entire series. Like, Vader could show up towards the end of the series. I just don't think they will. Now, there's a likelihood that they could almost build a bridge from Andor Season 2 to Rogue One, because it's supposed to lead directly into it, where they give us sort of a final scene for all these different characters. A final scene for Krennic when he goes to meet Vader, or a final scene for Luthen when he dies, or a final scene for Mon Mothma when she goes to Yavin 4, or a final scene for Cassian when he goes into that alleyway that we see him at the beginning of Rogue One. So it is technically possible that we get to see Vader at the very end of the show. And I mean, it's obviously possible that we could see him at any point. But to me, I think it's far more likely that we see Palpatine. Should we pull this up in the chat? Should we poll it up? Where did Vader go after Rebels Season 2? We really don't know. I mean, the comics show him going all different places, but where he specifically goes, I have no idea. Maybe he's force choking Dedra. Okay, yeah. That's the biggest thing, is so many people think that he's force choking Dedra in that last trailer. And if that's the case, well, then obviously Vader's in Season 2. But it's not necessarily the case that she is being force choked by Vader. Yeah. All right. Who is more likely to appear? That's not how you spell appear. That's not how you spell appear. appear in Andor Season 2? Palpatine or Lord Vader? What do we think? Yes, some people think it's a panic attack that she's having, but yeah. 500 credits, Vader makes an appearance. Oh my God, we're betting on this? 500 credits? I don't know if I can take that action. Man, I can't pick. To me, it's Palpatine, and I don't think it's really close. I'd be really shocked if it was Vader and not Palpatine. For, again, the same reasons I just said. Coruscant, the Senate, Mon Mothma calling him out. The fact that Ian McDiarmid can only really make a few more appearances as Palpatine because the timeline has been pretty filled out in this time period where Palpatine exists. Yeah. Palpatine becomes more political. Exactly. That too. Oh, okay. Emperor Raccoon with a very generous $2 holla says 1, Kanji Club. And 2, Jar Jar Binks. Okay. Misa going to hate doing this Kanji Club impression. That's my Jar Jar Binks impression. I don't even know what to look up here. What's his name again? Force Awakens Kanji Club. Chat.
Don't even think about taking the Falcon.
What about BB-8?
It stays with me until I get rid of the gang that can have.
Han Solo, you're a dead man.
Han Solo, you are a dead man.
Teague, what's the problem? The problem is we loaned you 50,000 for this job.
Can you see them?
No.
I heard you also borrowed 50,000 from Kanja Club.
I heard you also borrowed 50,000 from Kanji Club. It's honestly fun to do. You know what? It's fun, okay? I like the Kanji Club, okay? God! I heard you borrowed 50,000 from Kanji Club. Funny. Okay. David with the very generous $2 holla says, Galen Erso or Chirrut more likely than Vader or Palpatine. I think Galen Erso could be very, very likely. When we have so much focus in these trailers on the Death Star itself, and obviously Galen is the architect of the Death Star, and he's the one who puts the flaw in it that allows Luke Skywalker to destroy the Death Star in A New Hope. But Galen Erso seems to me to be more likely. Now, there's always the theory of Jyn Erso, but it doesn't really make sense for her to be in it unless she's still working with Saw Gerrera, and it'd be a lot younger version of the character. But I think Galen, her father, would be a little bit more likely. Yeah. Ken says, Mas Amedda will be the highest ranking Imperial to make an appearance. A Mas Amedda appearance would be awesome. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we haven't seen Mas Amedda in live action since Revenge of the Sith, so for over 20 years. And even in animation, what is he in the Bad Batch? Is Mas Amedda in the Bad Batch? His last appearance would be in the Bad Batch. So to see where Mas Amedda is at the time of the original trilogy would be pretty damn cool, because he's a character that we never see. You know? Yeah, now? Yeah. I hope we see Mas Amedda. It would be cool. Okay, let's get back to this trailer. So, will Palpatine appear in this scene? I guess only time will tell. Mas Amedda, maybe.
They come.
Hang on. What did that say? Oh, critically acclaimed. The critically acclaimed series. Okay, what's up with this knife? I mean, we've seen a lot of different knives and daggers and stuff like that in Star Wars, but what the hell is this? Chat, what the hell is this? And who is Cassian going to kill with this corkscrew weird knife thing? It looks like he got it from Luthen's gallery or something. Like that's what this looks like to me. Oh, hang on, we got another super chat. Oh my God, can't even get back to this stupid trailer because we get too many super chats. Okay, I appreciate it. 50 Thunder with a very generous $10 holla. Holy crap, says the Dedra choking thing. Okay, back to the Dedra choking thing. I think at some point she'll show some sympathy towards the rebellion. Krennic then sends her to a gas chamber. No, I do definitely not. No, we are not going that dark in this second season. There's no way. No. If anything, she will get force choked by Vader, or at least punished in some sort of way from the Empire. I could see one of two characters, Cyril or Dedra, turning to the light side. But let's not forget, in season 1, Dedra's whole goal is to find the rebellion and show the Empire that the rebellion exists and it's there and it's a very connected thing. And she's the only one who's onto it because everybody else is so fat and satisfied, as they describe them, to not see it. The Empire is too stupid to see what's right in front of their stupid faces that they don't see the rebellion growing. But Dedra does. So maybe Krennic is so fat and satisfied that he is almost stomping on Dedra to stop her from searching for the Empire, which would be wild. I think we're going to see Dedra unravel. I mean, maybe, but from season 1, it doesn't look like she's going to go down that route. It doesn't look like she's going to unravel, if you will. That could be from Luthen's cane. Okay, I appreciate the $10 Hollow 50 Thunder. I really do. Super chats, memberships, keep the lights on over here. But now that I've been so rudely interrupted, can I get back to this trailer now? Can I get back to this trailer now? Or would anybody else like to send me money for no reason? God.
This is where the fun begins.
Okay, so this weird-looking knife thing, what's going on with this? I actually kind of like that. If it's the top of Luthen's staff, but it doesn't look like it is. So, I don't know. Weird dagger. Again, they focus on the weird daggers in these trailers for some reason. The first trailer had a ancient-looking dagger in it, and now this one has this corkscrew-looking one. And then he's looking at it. It almost looks like he might be on Coruscant in this one, but also could be Ghorman. The architecture looks very similar on both, I guess. But weird knife. Maybe he has to kill Luthen with this knife. Like, why would they focus on this knife? That's the real question. Why would they do that? He's got some blood on his face. Looks like he was just in a battle of some sort. But it looks like there actually might be blood on the knife right there. Is the knife bent, actually? What the heck? I don't know. Maybe he had to use it to kill somebody he loved or hated or loved and hated. Luthen? I don't know. Somebody. Yeah, obviously he's bleeding right there. This might be after the Ghorman Massacre. I'm not too sure. Let's keep going.
This is do or die.
Here's Luthen in his wig, which we talked about later on. We don't see him in his wig.
This is do or die.
I'm thinking like a soldier.
Here's the weird rainy planet. It's back. This could be Ghorman at night. But who is this? Who is this person going parkour? Parkour. To me, it looks like a female character. Don't ask me why. I don't know. Who do we think this is, Chad? Could be Vel. Could be Cinta. Because they're both on this planet, too. Whatever it is, it's clearly important. And if it is Ghorman, well, that means that Vel and Cinta are also on Ghorman. And everybody's coming to the party on Ghorman. Clearly. Yeah, Cinta. I was thinking Cinta, too. Maybe. There you go. All right, now we get some really fast-paced stuff here, so we're going to do it in slow-mo. Big explosion. Boom. Cassian hits the floor on Ghorman. Now he's up against the wall. Shit's hitting the fan. Blaster bolts going by. People getting shot. And then we get K2SO taking down... Can we get this any clearer? There we go. K2SO taking down, it's not Cassian, but taking down a pedestrian. Actually, he's actually ripping him off of this speeder. Holy crap. I just noticed that. He's ripping him off of this speeder bike thing, and the speeder bike keeps going into the crowd of people there. Probably going to kill all of them. And then K2 or a K2-esque looking droid takes this guy down, tosses him to the ground. Let's watch that live.
Think like a leader.
Then we get Yavin 4. Yavin 4 will be the final arc of this second season and will likely give us, who knows? I mean, it could give us any sort of appearance of a character like Leia or Bail Organa or anybody. Literally anybody, which would be so damn cool. Yeah.
Andor Season 2 streaming.
Yeah, me too. We got 2 weeks. 2 weeks, chat. 2 weeks. But I want to watch this trailer. It's only 30 seconds. Let's watch it all the way through so we can just get hyped up for a second. We need a midstream hype session. You ready, chat?
The Empire cannot win.
The revolution's coming alive.
This day has finally come. This is do or die.
I'm thinking like a soldier.
Think like a leader.
Andor Season 2 streaming April 20th.
Who says this line here?
This day has finally come.
Who is that? This day has finally come. It shows Mon Mothma, but it doesn't sound like Mon Mothma. Listen to this.
This day has finally come.
That is not Mon Mothma. That is 100% not Mon Mothma. This doesn't sound anything like Mon Mothma. What? Have you lost your minds, chat? Listen again.
This day has finally come.
It sounds like a... It doesn't sound like Mon Mothma's accent. It doesn't sound like Mon Mothma herself at all. It sounds like an older woman.
This day has finally come.
It kind of sounds like Marva, but not Marva.
This day has finally come.
I am literally 99.999% sure this is not Mon Mothma, and I feel like you guys are all messing with me right now.
This day has finally come.
It sounds nothing like her. What? Are you guys crazy? Are you messing with me, chat? Are you messing with me?
This day has finally come.
It sounds nothing like Mon Mothma. Nothing. Oh, I'm so ready to put money on this, chat. How much money are we betting that this is Mon Mothma?
This day has finally come.
I have it so like loud on my ears right now. It doesn't sound anything like her.
This day has finally come.
Yeah, this day has finally come. Not you, Mon Mothma. Sounds nothing like you.
This day has finally come.
I feel like I'm losing my mind right now. This sounds nothing like... Play a different clip of her and you'll hear it? Okay. Play a different... Okay, we'll compare. All right, let me find Mon Mothma speaking, I guess. To me, it sounds absolutely nothing like Mon Mothma. Not even close. Like, if it was close, I'd be like, oh yeah, that might be Mon Mothma. No, not in the slightest. Mon Mothma speech Andor. Sure.
Proposal is both temperate and timely. Far more reasoned and thoughtful than the calls for decree we've been hearing from the
Yeah, you hear this character? She sounds nothing like the other character. Check this out.
other side. There will be a fact-finding commission put in place this...
You hear how high that is? You hear how high and how specific the accent is? Now listen to this.
This day has finally come.
So low, a little bit of raspiness in there, completely different accent. You guys are absolutely crazy. You've lost your goddamn minds. I'll do it again.
This day has finally come.
It's a completely different character.
The fact-finding commission put in place this session.
It's not even close! It's not even close! What? What? Oh my God. All right, chat. I hope you're right. I hope you are right. You know what? I hope you're right. But guess what? I hope you're wrong. I hope you are wrong. Because if you're right, then my brain is broken. Closed captioning is on. It doesn't say who's speaking.
This day is fine.
See, that's the closed captioning right there. It just doesn't say who's speaking. I feel like I'm losing my mind, chat. I can't believe you all actually think that that's Mon. It sounds nothing like her. I'm losing my mind. Okay, we do have to move on a little bit because we have a Tony Gilroy interview for Andor Season 2. Okay? Tony Gilroy has come out and talked even more about this with the Empire magazine article that drops this Thursday. We get another sneak peek into this article where we're going to get interviews from Tony Gilroy and Diego Luna for Andor Season 2. That comes out on Thursday, but we got another sneak peek right now, so let's check this out. So, Tony Gilroy credits Andor's existence to The Mandalorian. No Baby Yoda, no Andor. This is pretty interesting. This just even is more a testament to the success of The Mandalorian and how important that show specifically is to the future of Star Wars content. Before we even read this, let's talk about this for a second. The Mandalorian came out in 2019, right after The Rise of Skywalker. Actually, it was at the same time as The Rise of Skywalker. If The Mandalorian was not a success after the sequel trilogy was very divisive, who knows what Star Wars would look like right now? Who knows what Disney Plus Star Wars would even look like? But the fact that they came out with a bang with The Mandalorian, with Baby Yoda, Grogu, and then Season 2 with Luke Skywalker, Ahsoka Tano, Bo-Katan, making this crazy, intricate universe of the Mandoverse with the Book of Boba Fett and now Skeleton Crew and Ahsoka. A lot rides on The Mandalorian, and so did Andor. So take a look at this. The existence of Andor is something of a miracle. The hugely critically acclaimed Star Wars series is bold, uncompromising TV, an unflinching exploration of the cost of true revolution, all wrapped into a prequel to the original 1977 Star Wars A New Hope. It's a spin-off of a spin-off. Crazy. And it's delivered by one of the best writers in the game, Tony Gilroy. As the show prepares to deliver its second and final season, leading right into the events of Rogue One, which fans first saw nearly a decade ago, it still blows my mind that we watched Rogue One literally 9 years ago. Crazy. Which fans first saw nearly a decade ago. Tony Gilroy is clear that this show, like Andor, will never happen again. That's bad news, but as he goes on to say this, no, because we are so great. He tells Empire Magazine, by the way, magazine still exists, chat, in a major new interview alongside Cassian Andor himself, Diego Luna. But because no one's ever going to start a show on this scale again or shoot it practically like they have been doing. An Andor series costs upwards of $600 million for 2 seasons of television. So many of the sets are practical, so much of the effects are practical that nobody does that anymore. Nobody. So it may never happen again, as he says here. But, and have the resources and the protection to do something like this, because Disney, Lucasfilm, has those resources. That notion of protection is a key point for Tony Gilroy. noting how all involved in getting Andor made were instrumental in its arriving unscathed, with the ultimate freedom, its own high-stakes trench run, if you will. We were protected all the way down the line, says Tony Gilroy. Kathleen Kennedy protected us. Lucasfilm protected us. Bob Iger protected us. The audience protected us. The Mandalorian protected us. We had all those people out there backing our play. And he even talks about Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni in a second. Yes, even Din Djarin has played a part in Andor, even though he's not physically there. Not just the protector of Grogu, seems to be. The success of The Mandalorian gave us the platform to jump off of. Tony Gilroy explains. Their success is what fueled the whole thing. I mean, no Baby Yoda, Grogu, no Andor. Seriously, don't think that we don't know that. While The Mandalorian and Andor are poles apart, tonally, the projects exists in symbolism. Symbolicis. Is that a word? It is now. Not in opposition, as the dark side of the Star Wars fandom might choose to believe, as people online will say that one is better than the other, or one is Star Wars and one isn't Star Wars, and I don't even know. Mike, when was the last time you bought a physical magazine? Never. I've never bought a magazine in my life. Actually, no, I was gifted that. I was going to say I have a Star Wars magazine behind me, but I was gifted that. No, never bought one. Yeah. Never. Okay, having said that. Yeah, so many Star Wars fans like to pin each other against each other or pin one project against the other one. But in reality, The Mandalorian kickstarted all of Disney Plus and allowed for Andor and other projects like it to be created. Online, people try to drive a wedge between us all the time. Between us and Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, says Tony Gilroy. It's horrible what people say. It's terrible. And the truth is, we don't have the Andor show without them, without Jon and Dave. And the truth is, we don't have the show without them. They gave us the muscle to go. One way out, this is the way. Get it? One way out, this is the way. Okay, but having said that, as Star Wars fans, or I guess Star Wars fans like to do all the time, is drive wedges between people and between fans and between creators and between all this stuff. They want to blame Kathleen Kennedy for everything, but reward Jon and Dave for everything. They're all working together. The fact of the matter is Kathleen Kennedy brought these people to Star Wars, brought Jon and Dave together to make The Mandalorian. Like, it's all a cohesive group over there working to create Star Wars. And the fans who try to drive wedges between these people, like Tony Gilroy, and saying that Tony Gilroy is so much better than Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, they literally exist because of each other. The only reason that the Andor show exists is because of The Mandalorian, the success of The Mandalorian, which is pretty cool. This is the 50th year of Jaws, by the way. That's the cover of the Empire magazine that this interview is coming from. But that interview, the full interview, and the full thing will be out on April 10th, which is Thursday. Yeah, April 10th, which is Thursday. So this whole interview with Tony Gilroy and Diego Luna will be out on Thursday, and I'm sure a lot of our Thursday live stream will be about this article. Yeah. But that is pretty cool. Hearing him say stuff like that, like, obviously, the show doesn't exist without The Mandalorian, and that's sort of what they're talking about here, too. It's pretty damn cool. Yeah. So, it's always refreshing to hear Star Wars creators set the record straight on baseless fan conspiracies and emphasize the work environment. That's okay. That they all share, because yes, they all work for Lucasfilm. Although they're working on completely different projects all across the Star Wars galaxy, they're still working on Star Wars. Because the Star Wars universe, although projects like Andor, projects like The Mandalorian are so spread out in time and spread out in style, they all exist in the same universe. So there has to be a same overall, I guess, feel, if you will, between Andor, The Mandalorian, Ahsoka, The Acolyte, everything. It has to be in the same universe, feel like Star Wars. That's the goal. But as well as respected as Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are in the Star Wars fan base, there are some corners where they've been a consistent drumbeat of this is real Star Wars type of commentary in reference to the Andor versus Mandalorian or Ahsoka, in an attempt to belittle those who other shows while praising the more adult level content like Andor. Some people are just not, I guess, have not accepted the terms or the reality that Star Wars didn't grow up with them. Yes, Andor was a more adult version of Star Wars, if you will, but it's I guess nobody to gatekeep, if you will. The internet opinion machine never sleeps, of course. In reality, it's a credit to Lucasfilm that they've attracted the talent they have and developed the shows across the tonal spectrum that appeal to a wide range of viewers. And clearly, Tony Gilroy appears to have a positive creative experience, a win-win for all of us. So it really is great what Lucasfilm's doing right now, because you have all these different projects coming out. You have the Mandalorian and Grogu movie going to the theaters. You have Ahsoka Season 2. You have Andor. And if you want to watch a more ground-level show about, I guess, the sort of seriouser, it's a word, look it up, side of Star Wars, then you watch Andor. If you want to watch more lightsabers and the Force and the lore of Star Wars being expanded, you watch Ahsoka, you watch The Acolyte. If you want to watch a bounty hunter go all badass, you watch The Mandalorian, Season 1 and Season 2. Like, it depends on what you want to watch, but the fact is that Star Wars can give you all of it in the same universe, which is really, really cool. Yeah. And of course, 2 weeks from today, Andor Season 2 will premiere with 3 episodes. It's so crazy. We're getting an Andor movie in 3 weeks from today. Yeah. Pretty wild. Pretty dang wild. Okay, I saw this right before the live stream started, and I had to show you guys because it's so cool. Okay. Take a look at this. It's pretty funny. Okay. Can I get some good cups full of orders in the chat, please? Bum-ba. So, 2 guards harassing a random guy on Morlana 1, sorry. Look at all those good cuts full of orders, holy crap. 2 guys harassing a random guy on Morlana 1, which is the premiere of Andor Season 1, when he kills the 2 guards on Morlana 1, which ends up with the Death Star getting blown up. And although this is funny and I guess funny, it's so true. The fact is, Andor Season 1 and now Andor Season 2 are going to almost explain how the original trilogy happens. The same way when before Rogue One even came out, we didn't know how the rebels got the plans for the Death Star. We had some sort of explanation if there was a secret mission, the opening crawl of Star Wars. But we didn't actually know what happened. Rogue One gives us that mission, shows us how the rebellion, how Leia actually gets the plans to the Death Star, and then we actually get even more of that. The growth in origin story for a character like Cassian, but also beginning of the rebellion with Luthen and Mon Mothma and all this crazy stuff with Coruscant and everything in between. And now, when you look back and watch A New Hope, you have so much prior knowledge of what happens before. So it's not just the Death Star getting blown up at the end of the movie. It's all these things that come before it. And yes, maybe it starts with 2 guards harassing a random guy on Morlana 1, but it starts even further before that with a slave boy on Tatooine who won a pod race. It does all come together very smoothly and nicely in the Star Wars universe. For sure. But Andor, as Diego Luna has mentioned before, time and time again, Andor Season 2 and the first season as well will make you see not only Rogue One, but the original trilogy differently, because now you have the prior knowledge of what came before it. And that's pretty damn cool. Oh, we got another super chat. Hang on. Darth Plagueis lives with another generous $5 holla. Holy crap, you guys are feeling generous today. But he said nothing. Did you mean to say something, Darth Plagueis? Or were you just feeling extra generous? I appreciate it, though. Yeah, so that's that. Although that's a funny meme, it is also very true. Andor Season 2 will change the way we watch Rogue One and hopefully the original trilogy as well. Yeah. How Runner Base says, I go as far to say as the junkyard guy who lent Cassian his ship is the one who caused the destruction of the Death Star. You can just keep going back further and further and further if you just keep on doing that, you know? Yeah. We had the video game Dark Forces. If you played that, then you got the Death Star. Yeah, true. But that's, I guess, Legends now. Yeah. Actually, I'm pretty sure it was always Legends, but it was an explanation nonetheless. Yeah. Indeed. I don't know what Morlana is. Is that the holiday place Andor gets arrested on? No. Morlana is the first episode of Andor Season 1 where he's looking for his sister, where he kills the two guards at the very beginning. Yeah. Yeah. 50 Thunder, all good? Y'all good over there? Like Marva taking Cassian off of Kenari. Exactly. It goes all the way back to there. Okay. So, we do have some other news. Was that the rest of Andor Season 2? We do have some other news that is not Andor Season 2 related, but pretty cool nonetheless. So, there's some pretty huge news in terms of the next Star Wars movie after the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. What it's going to be, and 2 new actors/actresses that will be in it. So very little is known about the next Star Wars movie. All we really know is that Shawn Levy will be directing it. Ryan Gosling might be starring in it. And it will take place 5 or 6 years after The Rise of Skywalker. That's it. We don't know if like Rey will be in it or Finn will be in it or Poe will be in it. We don't know if it will connect directly to the Rey movie or we don't know anything. Literally nothing except for Shawn Levy 5 or 6 years after The Rise of Skywalker and Ryan Gosling. Which is crazy. All that just sounds crazy. However, it gets crazier as this news just broke. Star Wars Lucasfilm is eyeing Breaking Bad star for a major villain role in the upcoming Shawn Levy movie. And no, it's not Walter White. It's not, no, hang on. It's not Walter White. It's not Bryan Cranston. Don't get your hopes up for that. Sorry. That was a little misleading by this article. It's not Bryan Cranston. Sorry. It's not. However, the roster of formidable villains in Star Wars is set to grow with an addition of a Breaking Bad star. Lucasfilm is currently working on several Star Wars movies, including one from Deadpool Wolverine director Shawn Levy. Levy's untitled Star Wars film has been in development for several years, but is really gaining momentum now since news broke that Ryan Gosling will be joining the cast. Also, we learned that it'll be the next Star Wars movie after the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. And oh yeah, no, it's not Giancarlo Esposito either. No, he's already been Moff Gideon. He's already been there, done that. No. But I forget his name in Breaking Bad now. Does anybody know his name from Breaking Bad? I don't know. Jesse Plemons. The cast of Shawn Levy's Star Wars film is set to grow following a report from the insider Daniel Rickman, who reveals that Jesse Plemons has been offered a role as the villain in a new Lucasfilm flick. Plemons is a known actor for his roles in Civil War. That's not Captain America Civil War. He's not in that. Black Mirror, Love and Death and Kinds of Kindness. He's also notably portrayed the complex villain Todd. His name was Todd. Yes, thank you. Todd in Breaking Bad. If Plemons joins the Star Wars universe, he'll be the second Breaking Bad villain to do so, following Giancarlo Esposito, who plays Gustavo Fring in Breaking Bad, but also is the role of Moff Gideon in 3 seasons of The Mandalorian. Plemons is only the second cast member to be rumored for Shawn Levy's Star Wars film alongside of Ryan Gosling. So who will he play? Because if you're setting up a new villain post episode 9, which is when Palpatine, of course, dies for real this time, who's he going to play? Plot details for Shawn Levy's Star Wars movie still remain under wraps, although we are only, 10 days away from Star Wars Celebration. So I'm guessing this movie is going to get a pretty big update when it comes to movie updates at Star Wars Celebration. But, quote from Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy, have revealed that it is not to be a part of the main Skywalker saga set of films, and it'll be set a few years after the events of Rise of Skywalker, so it could be the beginning of a new saga. But the most recent update on the movie comes from insider Jonathan Trooper, who promised that they are working hard on the Star Wars movie. Without any plot details, it's difficult to say who Plemons' villain may be. However, this isn't the first time that a key actor will play a villainous character. That this actor will play, Nor is it the first time he's been up for a Star Wars role. What? A decade ago, Plemons was in the running to be a lead in The Force Awakens. These roles ultimately went to Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, and Adam Driver, and Oscar Isaac. But a part of Shawn Levy's Star Wars film could be the second chance for Plemons to join the Star Wars galaxy far, far away. Should any Star Wars sequel trilogy characters return, it may also be Plemons to interact with one of those characters that he almost played. Interesting. Casting on Shawn Levy's film is heating up, with a good indication that production will start. We'll have a start date for it in the pipeline for Star Wars' next film. So, with Star Wars Celebration 10 days away, it's likely that this movie, because it's going to be the next one after the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, will have a very big presence at Star Wars Celebration. Probably a title announcement, maybe some plot announcement, bringing out Ryan Gosling on stage, bringing out Plemons on stage, Jesse Plemons on stage, maybe even some other characters as well. How it connects to the whole thing is going to be pretty interesting, because if it's not connected to the Skywalker saga, then what the hell is it going to do? I don't know. Justin says, Mike, I'll be watching Star Wars Celebration on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, that's where I'm watching it too. We'll be covering it together. Yeah. He's a psycho Matt Damon. He kind of looks like Matt Damon. He's a new villain called Huge Wang. Oh, that's not a new villain. He already exists. Todd Nawood. Okay, well, in all seriousness, this movie, we don't know anything about it. It's probably not going to involve Jedi in the Force, because that's what the Rey movie is. The Rey movie is going to be her new Jedi Order and all that stuff. So I really doubt it will be about the Force and Jedi. Maybe it's about the Sith. I don't know. Maybe it's about an origin story for a new Sith Lord, and that's Ryan Gosling or even Jesse Plemons. It would be pretty wild if Shawn Levy wrote an origin story for the next villain in Star Wars, and it was this guy. And he's like a new Sith Lord, or maybe even Ryan Gosling is also his apprentice, or who knows? Maybe he's the master and Gosling's the apprentice. I don't know. But there's almost like too many possibilities when it comes to speculating about this movie, because we don't know anything about it. So it might be the origin story for a villain for the Rey movie, or it could just be a connecting piece to reintroduce the Rey movie. I don't know. He does kind of look similar to Hux. I mean, he's got the red hair and stuff. But it could be about a bounty hunter. Could be a bounty hunter mission. But we're getting that with the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, kind of. I don't know. Either way, they seem to have some sort of idea here, and it's such a good one that they wanted to streamline it to be the first Star Wars movie after the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, which is not an easy task, you know? Yeah. Definitely not an easy task. Oh, by the way, the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith novelization is coming out pretty soon. If you wanted to get that too. But yeah. Could be a movie about a bounty hunter being hired by the good guys. Okay, interesting. Well, the weird part about it is it's 5 years after the Rise of Skywalker. In the Rise of Skywalker, the First Order falls. Kylo Ren falls. Hux falls. Palpatine falls. So now the galaxy's in a weird spot where there's no government. Even the leaders of the rebellion or the resistance at the time, Leia, what's the girl from Last Jedi? They're all dead. So how they're going to rebuild the whole galaxy back to power will be very interesting. And maybe this movie focuses on that. I don't know. Again, it's almost impossible to predict what's going to happen in this movie when we know so little about it. This isn't the Dawn of the Jedi movie? No, this is not the Dawn of the Jedi movie. The Dawn of the Jedi movie will take place 25,000 years before everything else. This movie takes place 5 years after Rise of Skywalker. And the Dawn of the Jedi movie is James Mangold, and this is Shawn Levy. Yeah. I'm not liking Ryan Gosling on Star Wars? Whoa, maybe he needs to be a Sith or a bad guy? Really? Not a fan of Ryan Gosling? That's a rare one. Huh. But we don't stream on Fridays, Justin. Somehow Thrawn has returned. No. No. Thrawn is not going to be in this movie. I really hope the Mandalorian and Grogu movie is the beginning of a trilogy and Thrawn is the heir to the Empire, the whole trilogy. Because then you can kill off Thrawn and it'll work. You know what's really funny? I just started rewatching, or I literally just put it on because, long story, whatever. I put on the Rebuild the Galaxy show. You guys remember that last year, probably around September, October? Give me a one into the chat if you remember the Rebuild the Galaxy show. Somehow Darth Maul returns? No, I don't think so. Yeah. Yeah, so that show, yeah, it was the Lego one. The opening scene of that show is the main character. I don't even remember his name. It's not really important, but what he's saying is he's explaining the whole story of Star Wars. He's explaining it from the pod race on Tatooine all the way to the Battle of Exegol. And he explains the entire story. And then he goes, maybe next time I'll tell you the story about Grand Admiral Thrawn. And it's just a little bit of a tease at what's to come because clearly the focus moving forward is this Mandoverse. And it is the big blue meanie, Grand Admiral Thrawn, as the heir to the Empire. So over the next probably 5-6 years, the main focus with Ahsoka Season 2, maybe even Skeleton Crew Season 2, the new rumor is possibly Book of Boba Fett Season 2, and a Mando trilogy. The big blue meanie is going to be everywhere. Grand Admiral Thrawn is going to get really the screen time that he deserves and the opportunity to grow as a villain in this Mandoverse time period. And that's what'll be pretty damn cool. Yeah. So I thought it was just pretty funny because I was just rewatching the beginning of that, and he goes, and maybe next time I'll tell you the story about Grand Admiral Thrawn. And I was like, oh, I'd like to hear that story. Yeah. The Lego's not canon, though. I mean, it's definitely not canon, but it's still them poking fun at the fact that we're going to be getting a lot of Grand Admiral Thrawn very, very soon. Yeah. Okay, the other bit of non-Andor Season 2 news was this. We'll get through this a little bit quick here. The Bit Reactor's new Star Wars video game reportedly is titled Star Wars Zero Company and features Mandalorians. Let's take a look at this. We got some images the other day that we looked at, but look at this. So Star Wars Celebration Japan 2025 will see a brand new Star Wars game be revealed. Whilst not much is known about the projects currently, The title of the project being developed, Bit Reactor, appears to have been leaked. According to MP First, sorry, the Star Wars video game is set to be titled Star Wars Zero Company. Interesting. The outlet's first leaked screenshots. Take a look at these. Whoa. So we got some sort of Jedi here fighting against... Actually, that looks like stormtroopers. Hang on. Then we got this going on here. Whoa. Armory, holo table, black market, and special ops. What the heck is this game? Characters. Huh. Okay. Well, those were the screenshots that were released for the video game in March of 2023. Or from March of 2023, build of the game. Wait, what? Those screenshots were from 2023, 2 years ago? Okay. Those aforementioned screenshots showcased common elements of a turn-based genre, including the isometric view of the party and characters, which feature Mandalorians in the images. These Mandalorians, alongside with a droid, can be seen taking cover from stormtroopers during what appears to be a rescue mission. In addition, a hub area can be seen, which is set in Caffrine mining colony. Okay. With options within that, including an armory, special ops, black market, and holo table. Interestingly enough, this time period would mean that that's when Bo-Katan is ruling Mandalore, and we could actually see Mandalore get turned to glass in this game, if that's really what we're seeing here. Star Wars Zero Company is being developed by new and independent studio Bit Reactor, along with the help from Respawn Entertainment. And Respawn Entertainment is the ones who made the Star Wars Jedi games with Cal Kestis. The title will be published via Electronic Arts, or EA, if you will, and is set to be unveiled at Star Wars Celebration Tokyo on April 19th. So on that Friday, April 19th, which is in 10 days from now, or sorry, is that Saturday? On that Saturday, which is 11 days from now, you'll be getting this game announced, and we'll get to see a release date and all that other stuff. Currently, there's no rumors for a release window for Zero Company, but past releases have been in that spring of 2026, as new Star Wars video game titles tend to release around the same time with an exciting live-action project. So, the weird thing about this is a couple years back, and tell me in the chat if you remember this, a couple years back, Star Wars said that there was going to be 2 new Star Wars video games every year. One big major one and one smaller one. And that's been the case so far since we got Jedi Survivor, and then I don't know what the smaller ones are. Star Wars Hunters, maybe? I'm not too sure. Then last year we got Star Wars Outlaws. This year we don't have one. So maybe this is the one for this year, and it's going to get released later on in the year. I'm not too sure. But there's still the games of the Knights of the Old Republic remake, Star Wars Eclipse, which dropped a trailer like 4 years ago and then just dipped. But yeah, there's a lot going on in the background of Lucasfilm, video games, shows, live action, animated movies, clearly, that are all going to be revealed, all going to be announced in 10 days at Star Wars Celebration. And I can't freaking wait. But this one's a pretty cool one too. For video game fans out there, this seems to be a pretty cool Star Wars game, from the looks of it at least. Yeah. Yeah. Jessica, what's up? So, that's sort of the news in terms of a new Star Wars game that will be announced on the 19th, which is the Saturday, I believe, of Star Wars Celebration. That's pretty dang cool. What else? What else was there going to say? I think that was all the other non-Andor news. Huh. Let's take a look at these images now. Because I feel like with the information that we know now about Andor Season 2, we might actually get a better look at this. So this is Mon Mothma's daughter's wedding. And that's Tony Gilroy right there. Cassian behind the scenes in the TIE Avenger. There he is in it again. This one's pretty interesting. This is the room where they have all those meetings for the Empire with the ISB on Coruscant. And this is Cyril and Dedra. Wonder what the hell's going on there. Luthen looking all badass. Bix and Cassian. This might be the rainy planet that... Is that Vel? Might be the rainy planet that Vel and Cinta are on. This could be from a whole nother arc that we just haven't really tapped into yet. This is the room where she's getting force choked in that one trailer. I don't know what's going on here. She doesn't look too happy about it, whatever it is. Yeah. Mon Mothma doing some work. Again, this is still the craziest image. With Luthen and Mon. Luthen not in his wig. They're on Coruscant. Stormtroopers behind them. Krennic. This seems to be the rainy planet again. So Bix, Cassian, Cinta, and Vel are all on this rainy planet. Whatever it is. And we have no idea what's going on. Yeah. And there's the poster. Another poster. And we're back to the beginning. Yeah. So it seems like of the 4 arcs that we're going to be getting, and Tony Gilroy has already confirmed that the Ghorman arc will be, the Ghorman Massacre will take place over 5 episodes, which doesn't really make sense because it's 3-episode arcs. But Ghorman's going to be a big one. Mon Mothma's daughter's wedding is going to be a big one. This rainy planet where Vel, Cinta, Cassian, and Bix are is going to be a big one. Then the final arc will be Yavin 4 and whatever the hell's happening there in that final arc that brings us into Rogue One. So somehow, some way, those 4 places and 4 arcs and 4 whatevers will be played out in some sort of order in this 4th season. Don't know how, but the Ghorman Massacre is going to be the big catalyst, the big plot point for season 2, if you will, where what happens there changes the events of the entire galaxy, changes the events of the Empire and the rebellion and how people don't trust the Empire anymore and people actually begin to rebel. Yeah, 2 weeks until the premiere on April 22nd. Indeed. Oh, yeah. Let me, that's a great reminder, actually. Once it comes out, then once, like, April 22nd comes around, we'll be doing live streams on Mondays. So we're going back to the Monday live streams because I don't want to live stream twice on Tuesdays, and it's going to be really, really long Tuesday nights for me with the 3-episode watch parties and then 3 episodes of breakdowns. It's going to take me 5 ever, not 4 ever, 5 ever. So we're going to change the the live stream prediction live streams to Mondays, and then I'm just going to sleep all day Tuesday, I think. I don't even know. We'll figure it out. Yeah. We shall figure it out. Don't worry about it, Rob. I appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah, the 3rd game of Cal Kestis probably won't be announced at Star Wars Celebration because they're probably not done with it or anywhere close to done with it. But it's likely that that 3rd game will get some sort of announcement within the year, I'd guess. It's not going to come out till at least 2027. But we'll see. We shall see. Oh, that wasn't Dedra and Cyril undercover in those 2. It could have been Cassian. No, it looked like Cyril for sure. In that first trailer you're saying? Yeah. Well, let's go back to it here.
The Empire cannot win.
The revolution's coming alive.
Yeah, these 2. Yeah. Nah, that looks like Cyril. Doesn't look like Cassian.
This day has finally come.
I'm ready, chat. I'm ready to put money on it. That is not Mon Mothma. It's just not. Yes, the picture is Mon Mothma, but the voice is not.
This day has finally come. This is do or die.
I'm thinking like a soldier.
It sounds way more like Clea than Mon Mothma.
Think like a leader.
Andor Season 2, streaming April.
Think like a leader.
Think like a...
Where are they going? 'Cause they're in hyperspace right now, clearly going on some sort of mission. This is when Cassian's got the look of the fancy look of Cassian.
Like a soldier.
Think like a leader.
I wonder how much time we're going to spend on Yavin. That's a big question, too. And the thing is, obviously we know it ends with the events of Rogue One, but how? These trailers are so damn good. I know, and we're pretty much getting one a day at this point. At least one every other day. We've gotten 3 trailers over the last 4 days. That's crazy. Yeah. It is wild. It is wild. All right. Let me end this poll. Wow, really? Okay. You guys agree with me. You think that Palpatine is far more likely to be in Andor Season 2 than Vader, as this poll currently has 68% of you saying that Palpatine is more likely to appear, and 31%, the math is not mathing, saying Vader is more likely to appear. But hey, only time will tell. The big questions going into the second season are really, will Vader or Palpatine be in it? And even like them being there, it's not going to affect the show too much. It's really, is Dedra being force choked by Vader? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, but I do have to get on out of here. I got to go finish this short for later today. So watch out for a short at 5 o'clock. I'm working on something pretty crazy. I'm going to keep it a secret for now. And I'll just leave you with that I'm working on something pretty crazy. But I'm very excited about it. And I'm hoping, because I made a big breakthrough last night, that I can get it out to you guys some point this week or next week. But we'll figure it out. So until then, I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Smash a freaking like on this stream. How many likes do we have, chat? How many likes do we have? Am I going to be upset? Am I going to be upset? Oh, we had a pretty good amount of likes, actually. Huge shoutouts to Darth Plagueis Lives, 50 Thunder, David, Emperor Racoonar, David, Rose, I Hodja for the very generous super chats, super stickers, all that stuff. I appreciate it quite a bit. Indeed, I do. But until next time, smash a freaking like on the stream. And yeah, watch out for that short later on today. May the force be with you. Always. Oh, yeah. What a great stream. What a great show. You guys are the absolute best. I appreciate you all so much more than you will ever know. This was quite a fun one, if I do say so myself. This was quite a fun one. There is no way in hell that that was Mon Mothma's voice, and I can't wait till I'm proven correct. But until then, I hope you have a great rest of your evening, great rest of your lives. And good night, everybody.